Leo, welcome to your monthly horoscope for October 2023. In this video, we will be going over all of the energy for the month ahead. Now, coming into the month this month, we are in eclipse season. We have our solar eclipse taking place October 14th here in Libra in your third house, and we have our final lunar eclipse in Taurus at 5 degrees in your 10th house of career. So we will be getting into all of that energy. Now, as we come into the month, we have the sun in your third house here in Libra. So there can be a lot of focus on community, neighbors, neighborhood, vehicles, siblings, cousins, communication. We also have Mars here. So there can be a lot of focus. There's actually a lot of energy in Libra for the first portion of this month. Once we get to October 4th, we have Mercury also entering Libra. So there is, in the sun being your chart ruler, there is a lot of focus, with these third house themes and topics, whether it has to do with communication, information, maybe your siblings or cousins, or maybe getting more involved within your community. Maybe there's something showing up with you with neighbors, or vehicles, but the third house is quite prominent. Once we get to October 8th, we have Venus entering your second house of money and finances. Now, Venus has been in Leo for the past few months, since June. So this is definitely going to be a really big energetic shift. Venus moving through your first house, which your first house represents you, your character, your personality, your physical body, your appearance, how you view this physical reality, and your perception, the direction you want to move into, in this lifetime. And Venus went through that retrograde period in your first house. There could have been a lot of rethinking those themes and topics. There could have been maybe even to changing your appearance in some way. It can definitely show up, in that form. So Venus moving into Virgo is going to be a really big energetic shift. And it's going to have you maybe focusing more on or changing something that has to do with your money and finances. Now, keep in mind that Venus is at her fall in Virgo. She doesn't do the greatest in Virgo, and Venus is a key player this month because Venus rules all of this Libra energy. And so there's something to also being integrated when it has to do with money, finances, and material possessions and these third house themes and topics, because there's mutual reception here. Venus is in a Mercury ruled sign and Mercury is in a Venus ruled sign. So there's this mutual reception taking place. So this can show up in a way of maybe communicating or publishing something that ends up being very lucrative. I mean, it can show up in many forms, but that's just one example of how you would kind of mesh these energies together. On October 10th, we have Pluto here in your sixth house stationing direct. Now when Pluto stations, there's going to be this square between Pluto and Mars. This can feel quite intense. Pluto really brings what is beneath the surface to light, to really transmute and transform. And so something can be highlighted here. Now, Mars rules your ninth house of belief systems, higher education, higher knowledge, travel, also publishing. And so there can be something showing up here when it has to do with communication, when it has to do with publishing something or even teaching, something maybe being brought to the surface that you're having to work through. And then October 14th, we have the solar eclipse in Libra at 21 degrees here in your third house. Now, we have the North Node in Aries, which is in your ninth house, and the South Node in Libra, which is your third. And so over the next year or so, you're going to have a lot of changes taking place in these areas of life. So this solar eclipse coming in is the solar eclipse happening is bringing in new energy for this journey, for this new cycle that you're moving through. Eclipses and nodes bring in massive shifts and changes. They're very fated, very karmic energy. And so this solar eclipse is bringing in new energies for this journey when it has to do with whether it's vehicles, whether it is community, neighbors, communication, teaching, publishing, higher education. There's some belief systems, philosophy is also, in this access. So there's definitely a lot of changes taking place here. And this solar eclipse in Libra is really highlighting that and bringing in new energies. And then October 19th, 20th and 21st, we have the Mercury Cazimi taking place. And so Mercury and the Sun move together for a few degrees. It's 25, 26, and 27 degrees. They travel along together. And this can bring in insight. This can be epiphany energies. This can also have to do with Mercury ruling your second house of money and finances. This can be something showing up for you around your money and finances, bringing clarity in, possibly having a conversation with someone, having this aha moment where something clicks. It can also have to do with the 11th house themes and topics. So friends, friendships, social groups, online connections, social media. So definitely pay attention around this time, the 19th, 20th, and the 21st, what is showing up for you as far as information, conversations, intuitive insights, your thoughts. Pay attention to your thoughts at this time. This can be epiphany energy, and this can really bring, aha moments. And then October 22nd, Mercury is going to enter Scorpio, and October 23rd, the Sun is going to enter Scorpio. So we go from having a lot of energy here in the third house to then a lot of focus on home and family here in the fourth house. So this is where there may be something showing up for you around your home or your family that you're having to work through. Or, it doesn't even necessarily have to be anything negative. There can be some information coming in. There can be you taking action with something, because we are talking about the Sun, Mercury, and Mars. So there's quite a lot of energies taking place here in the fourth house of home and family once we get to that last week of October. And then October 28th, we have our final lunar eclipse in Taurus at 5 degrees. So don't pay attention to the 10 degrees. It's right here at 5 degrees of Taurus and your 10th house of career, public reputation. Now, this is a finalizing of energies when it has to do with the changes you've been going through since February 2022, when it has to do with your home and family, and when it has to do with your career. This is a finalizing of energies. This is a final knowing, a final understanding of the direction you want to move in, especially when it has to do with your career. So we had the North Node moving through Taurus and the South Node moving through Scorpio since February 2022. And then the nodes shifted into Aries and Libra back in July. And so this is the final eclipse we are having in Taurus, closing out that cycle. So what have you been moving through as far as your career and as far as your home and family since February 2022? This eclipse we're having here is closing that out for you. Okay, Leo. Well, I hope this helps you move through the energies for the month of October. Thank you so much for joining me. If you align with my energy and enjoy my content, don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and I will connect with you in the next one.